Here it says it takes 5 people 4 hours to do the job. How long would it take 10 people to do the same job? So you need to first set up a proportion, set up a ratio. Now, I would be inclined to take this first sentence, 5 people 4 hours, so put 5 people in the top, 4 hours in the bottom, and 10 people, I would put that in the top, and I don't know how many hours goes in the bottom. So in this case, I am putting people in the top and hours in the bottom. However, it says here that the numerator and the denominator need to be the same thing. So we can't set up our proportion in that way. We need to have one of our fractions, one of our ratios being people, and the second ratio to be hours. So if we set it up that way, the top of the fraction needs to be one piece of information. So 5 people, 4 hours. And then the bottom of the fraction needs to be that second piece of information. 10 people, we don't know how many hours. So one fraction is my people, the other fraction is my hours. The second step is to flip the second fraction. It says invert the second ratio. So the 5/10 stays the same, but instead of 4 over x, I'm going to flip it. And this becomes x over 4. Now we solve. When you're solving a proportion, you cross multiply. So 5 times 4 is 20. 10 times x is 10x. And then you solve this. So if I'm solving this, I'm going to undo the multiplying by 10 by dividing by 10. And I get x equals 2. Let's try another. So it says it took 2 pumps 6 hours to pump the water out of a pond. How long would it take if 3 pumps were used? So pumps and hours. So for this type of proportion, we have to have one of our ratios include the pumps, and the other ratio include the other measure, which is hours. So one piece of data, 2 pumps, 6 hours, that goes in the top. So 2 pumps, 6 hours goes in the top. And the second piece of data, 3 pumps, we don't know how many hours, that goes in the bottom. So step 1 is done. We set up our ratios, set up our proportion. Now we need to flip the second ratio. So flip that second fraction. So 2/3 stays the same, but the second one, instead of 6 over x, it's going to be x over 6. This is the proportion that we solve. So multiply across, 2 times 6 is 12. Multiply across, 3 times x is 3x. And then solve. So undo that multiplying by 3 by dividing by 3, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then we have x equals 4.